Hi guys, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about 5 things I'll never be caught dead doing as an architectural designer, kitchen edition. Not place the cooktop, that is your oven or your induction cooker, away from the living room. Assuming, let's say you have an open plan kitchen. You want, as you cook, as you're preparing dinner, you are having a conversation with your spouse, your children. Yes, as zingine unaweza waongelesha when they are watching TV. The number 2 thing that I'll never do is place the garage or the carport away from the kitchen. This is because to say when you come with your car, you have mizigos, you don't want to go, unaona tuseme maybe it's dirty stuff, sijui maaru, you know, those things that belong to the kitchen or the kitchen store. You don't want to pass through the sitting room with all your mizigos and you're taking your stuff to the kitchen. Okay, so normally what we do is we design the kitchen very close. Actually, the garage door is supposed to open to the other kitchen store, ama the kitchen na come to a main room yake. Okay, I know this is controversial. It looks really nice on Instagram having the sink ama having the cooker, the oven on your kitchen island, but guys, is it practical? Like, why do we have the kitchen island? It's not simply for aesthetics, because if you put the sink there, then that space inakuwa limited. There's this video I was seeing where you have your sink, but then juu yake kuna board that you can actually slide over and cover it. So the next thing that I prefer as Patricia, let me call it a preference, is an undermount sink. An undermount sink is ile sink, you have the worktop, that is, let's say it's your granite worktop, your sink, it's below it. So if you have any water on top of the counter, assuming you're using granite, ama you have some, you know, you've chopped your stuff and you want it generally to direct it to the sink, it's just easy, just swipe it into the sink. But these drop-in sinks, which are common in Kenya, it's a bit tedious, So you take the water, you have to take it on top, ama soak it and then come and rinse it in the sink. It's just too much work. Undermount sinks are a bit expensive compared to these drop-in kawaida ones, but I think it's one of those things for my house. I would rather pay the extra money just for it. I know. Something else, when it comes to the sink area, when placing it, the counter is from the extreme end to now the edge of the counter. It's usually 600. So 600 mm, some people place the sink uko at the edge, so you do not leave like a space where you can put your soap, your stuff. I really don't like that. Okay, so I prefer like bring it a little bit close, somewhere central, because I've seen this tendency, you know, these sinks, these kawaida ones where they chimbia the ukuta and then they, you know, they erect the sink inside. To me, it's nice if there is an allowance, but I generally just like that space so that you can place your stuff. Okay, so something else that not adhering to the kitchen triangle. The kitchen triangle ideally is your fridge, your cooktop, ama induction cooker, ama your gas, and they are supposed to form a triangle, and then you have the spaces hapo katikati. So that is something I have to explain in depth, but yes, I would not adhere to that rule. There is a reason it's there. So backsplash, it should be 600, okay, 600 millimeter, so that you can access the counters that are at the top, because I've seen places where it's above the 600 and it's such a stress to get to the overhead cabinets. Okay, like what's the point? You've built your house, lazima ukanyage stool ama steps ndio uende. Is once you've done your overhead cabinets, something else that I really hate, and it looks tacky, is those 2 spaces that you leave on top of the overhead cabinets. They just make a space look you know, from an architectural perspective, it's not good aesthetics. So if there's space, make use of it. Ataka uteka board ukave, ideally your cabinets should go all the way to the wall. Okay, for the looks purposes. And guys, I know it's a Kenyan thing. People associate having overhead cabinets with luxury. I don't know where that came from, but when there's this trend, we are moving towards minimalism. So if you can, perhaps mix them up, ama totally do away with the overhead cabinet.